Hey everyone, this is our stock in focus segment. We're seeing Monster Beverage do pretty well here. We're seeing this, a big move, about 12% on the day. Now what's interesting with this is that it's important to kind of take it in context of what's going on. And we always end up with the same theme, but it makes sense because it's the only way you can look at these kind of situations to figure out what's going on. Because when you look at it from the shorter term standpoint, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You're looking at you're seeing a very dramatic corrective action here. Then you see a very clear downtrend, and prices really kind of staying with that potential channel. And then all of a sudden you see prices kind of go into this squeeze here. Then you see the break higher here, turning around. Well, what's important to start to kind of pay attention to this, and I've had some that say, indicators are important. And what they mean is that you should kind of develop a feel for that, and I can respect that. I mean, for the most part, I could operate without a lot of indicators, but they can give you some kind of focus here about what's could take place. And here's a perfect example here when you start to see this consolidation. Now, normally, a good chartist knows, hey, you're going through this consolidating. That's potentially a pending move should start to happen. But when you start to see the tightening of this Bollinger Band, you could tell that you're going to start to see some potential volatility. Now, what's assumed here, because of the overall trend, is that it should be to the downside. Now, that's where it gets you. And what I think is important to kind of watch here, and some very simplistic approaches here, but they work. Here, this is what you kind of got to look at and think of how, as prices start to go down, what is really transpiring. You see the move here, you see the attempt to the 21-day moving average. You don't see the break of that. Now, a lot of times people say, oh, it's, the 21-day moving average or averages are not important. I don't use them as an absolute support or resistance range, or it changes. A trend is definitely changed on when they break over it, but it does kind of give you some kind of barometer of the effectiveness of the move sometimes. For example, as you see these, it trying to break through to 21-day, it just doesn't. You can look at it saying, well, it's not having the strength to do it. Then you see the break of it. Then you see the attempt to break of the 50, but then you see the break back under the 21, suggesting further lows. Okay, and then you see the thrust lower here. Now you see the retracement coming back to the break to the prior swing low, which now is resistance, and you could see how prices really ran sideways. But look at what starts to happen. You see this sideways action, really nothing happening here, but you see this next thrust lower. What happens is prices don't break lower.